What is up, guys? It is your boy back at it again with episode 3 of the No Sale Club podcast. It's your man with a plan, Jason. You know the rest, you know the riddle. Ha, yeet. Okay, so great week of wrestling, honestly. Great week of wrestling, Jesus. Really good week. We had a nice long 7 day from AEW all in Texas. Best show of the year. It will be the best show of the year. You cannot debate me. Great show. From a WWE Women's Evolution to best WWE show of 2025, a lot of people say. I say it's top two. It's really top two. I really like Royal Rumble a lot too, but we'll talk about that. And just from some NXT to Saturday night's main events, such good things, such bad things. A great week though, really good week, really good week. I'm proud of all the wrestlers, especially the women they put on today. So Ruka, workhorse woman of the NXT division as of right now. She's one of them ones I like her, but we we have a cool amount of stuff to talk about. A lot of the stuff, like Women's Evolution, for example, we're gonna talk about some of it. There's not too much to dwell on to talk about though. Just simple stuff that we already know, really. I mean, it just happened not long ago. Still a great PLE. And yeah, we'll talk about towards the end. The Women's Evolution towards the end. We're gonna go from Raw to SmackDown to Saturday night's main event to Evolution and some AEW stuff we'll try to do. So let's get right into this. Okay. So we open up Monday Night Raw. We get Seth freaking Rollins promo. He's ready to come out and do his whole shtick. Oh, sorry, something on my screen. Sorry, guys. And he's coming out ready to do his whole shtick when it's welcome to Monday Night Rollins. But as soon as Seth Rollins, he's starting to talk, Braun Breaker comes out of nowhere, snatches the mic, and he just goes in on Sami Zayn. He's going in. He's talking about he's talking like one of those alphas you see in those videos, like that you see on the Alpha Male podcast where you talk about high value woman and a high value man and how I'm more high value than you because I do more sit ups and my body looks better than yours. That's what he's talking like, which I kind of like for Braun. I kind of like it. I like Braun. I like Braun Breaker's character there. They gave him in that section, but it's great to hear Braun Breaker speak. It's really great. Him taking this role as a sort of henchman and sort of back seat to Seth Rollins. I don't think it's made him weaker. I've been very vocal on how I don't think it makes him weaker at all. But it's kind of needed. It's kind of needed because it's not a they haven't had him and Bronson Reed haven't had a lot of character development. I mean, let's be serious with ourselves. Um, One thing I do wonder though, honestly, that I do wonder is if this is the slow crack of Seth Rollins' faction, which we haven't even got into. I wouldn't think so. There's other stuff that happened where things are derailed now, but we'll act as if we haven't seen that yet because we kind of record these beginning of the following week or the Sunday. Record this on a Sunday, so yeah. So yeah, though I hope this isn't the end. I think the Seth and I think the faction. I think Seth Rollins' faction has so much potential in itself. We already have Seth Rollins with the Money in the Bank briefcase become a direct line to a WWE Championship, which he should successfully cash in. And then we have the Bronsons, Braun and Braun Security, BMB. We have them. I could see a tag team title maybe. I can't. He says he wants to dominate both world championships, so I guess we could see. Maybe I had to be Braun Breaker, right? As the champion of the other show, it's the WWE champion. Whoever Seth doesn't cash in on, but I really hope they don't break up this group. I really hope they don't break up this group. I feel so much potential in this group. I can just picture Seth Rollins as WWE World Heavyweight Champion or WWE Champion, whoever he decides to cash on. I could see the Bronsons, Braun and Braun Security, as tag team champions, and then I could see whoever this Plan B is. Some people think the Plan B is NXT. Some people think the Plan B is Sami Zayn. Some people think it's Jey Uso. I could see whoever the Plan B is being some kind of singles champion or something. They bring something to the table to the point where I this will be one of my favorite factions in all of WWE, in my opinion. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, he cuts a promo on him, talks about, oh, I'm a gym bro. He doesn't do sit ups. He didn't do sports. He's unathletic. He can't do this. He can't do that. He can't do this. He has the physicality of a rock or something like that. It was really funny. I think they really need this though. Bronson Reed's promo about Jey Uso, oh, I'm gonna tsunami you 100 times. He's pretty generic. Bronson Reed's promo skills aren't the best, but not bad. Got through, not bad at all. It was a nice, not a bad promo. Pretty cool opening to Raw. Again, I really hope they don't break up this group. I see so much potential in it. A lot of people believe that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are losing aura in a way and becoming less credible as heels or as characters or as wrestlers because they're taking a back seat to Seth Rollins, who is the leader of their faction. But I don't think so. I don't see why. All the greats, but most of the greats have taken the back seat at one point or another. Whether it's Seth Rollins when he was with the Shield, when they did the Authorities bidding, it was the Evolution. Everyone was a back seat to Triple H for being serious. Even though, like, we knew Randy Orton was great, Batista was great, Ric Flair was old, but he's Ric Flair. He took a back seat to people. In DX, Triple H took a back seat to Shawn Michaels in the beginning of it when it was him, China, Ravishing Rick, and Shawn Michaels. It was so I don't think it's a big deal. Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, they'll be fine. I don't think they're losing any kind of aura. I think they'll be fine. I think the dogs are still barking or wherever you put them, and they'll be fine. Then people need to start overreacting, honestly. So, yeah, yes. So we got to that's a down, and so next we have the Kabuki War. So we have a promo, or not a promo, a fight. It was about it was a match between not Raquel, Roxanne Perez, and what's her name, Kyrie Sane. And Kyrie Sane, great match, cool little match. Nothing to write home about. We're still a really good match though, pretty good match. It was nice back and forth. Long story short, Kyrie comes out with the W, but Roxanne Perez comes in. Yeah, no, wait, yeah, Raquel Rodriguez comes in, and they're jumping, what do you call it? They're jumping. I'm sorry, Kyrie Sane, and they're going through a brawl, and Kyrie needs backup. And who will come out to give Kyrie backup? The short returning Oscar, who people loved it. Great, great pop, a really good pop. Oscar had a really good return. I'm surprised, but I'm not, because from the Raw side, who would they really put beside who the Dungeon Dolls? Like, be serious. I think the Dungeon Dolls are the only woman tag team, yeah, besides the Judgment Day, technically. But yeah, I'm not surprised they did this though. I think the Kabuki Warriors reuniting isn't a long term thing. If it is, I wouldn't be surprised. But also coming back and genuinely feeling like a presence in the women's division, I don't think they can give that up. And people being behind her on top of that, along with Kyrie Sane going into her own path and singles competition that we've been seeing from time to time. It sucks. A lot of people are associating her with these injuries that she's been involved in, but I don't think the WWE is, at least. I don't think. I hope the Kabuki Warriors almost isn't a permanent thing, to be honest, because I just feel like you can do so much more with them separate than together, if that makes sense. It's like, why put the Kabuki Warriors together if they're not if you're not going to use them? Why put the Kabuki Warriors together again if you don't even care about every other women's tag team on your roster? It's one of those things. I said the same thing about putting Andrade and Ray Phoenix on Raw. I feel as if you almost have to earn a tag team at that level, and that's that interesting, because why would you do that? You don't write interesting storylines. You clearly don't care about them. It's like, it's just a waste of time and talent, in my opinion. And I don't see why you would do that. It could bolster your women's tag team division, yes, but at the same time, you're really just almost bringing down that talent, especially that hot returning talent that is Asuka. It doesn't make any sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't like it. And yeah, but yeah, they go backstage, talk to Adam Pearce. Hey, we wanna fight against Judgment Day. He said, how about we get the Kabuki Warriors reuniting, and so they can represent Raw at WWE Women's Evolution. They say yes, obviously. I feel like that was pretty obvious what was gonna happen. But yeah. And from there we have, okay, so next match we had Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. The dogs are barking in whatever city they were in. What do you call it? So during this match, we have Sami Zayn coming down. He is about to hit it. He's about to hit the ring. He's walking down a ramp. Braun Breaker comes out with what seems like an even thicker metal pipe to to hit Sammy with in the ribs again. And this is a trope. This is a trope with WWE. This makes me kind of mad, but not mad at the same time. All right. Triple H is afraid of baby faces being able to lose clean. When a baby face goes against someone like the likes of Braun Breaker, who's already a proven person who can put someone down. He doesn't need a nerf because Braun Breaker is the nerf in a way. Braun Breaker has been shown to be big enough, powerful enough, good enough to actually legitimately beat like someone like Sami Zayn. I don't see why we always have to nerf our big baby faces with a rib injury, especially on top of it every single time. Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn. It's always a rib injury, so they could lose to the believable heel. The heel is believable, so it doesn't make sense to me. I don't see why Triple H is so afraid of having his baby faces losing legit. Baby faces can lose, heels can lose. Baby faces can lose to credible heels. If he went in there someone like James Ellsworth, okay, that's fair. But he's not. And then on top of that, they made it so he still wrestled this match. Sami Zayn should not have been able to wrestle this match. He really shouldn't have. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Braun Breaker went in there, destroyed him, tried to make it seem like Sami Zayn could fight back. Thank God he did it. I would have, oh my God, I would have been done if he did it. But he speared him like 15 times. It's this would have been a cool match. We can get this match a million more times down the road. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal honestly. But yeah, yeah. Next, we have the women's triple threat promo. It's cool. Becky's doing a lot of gaslighting here. It's this is the best built story in the WWE right now, in my opinion. So there's not much to really talk about. They really just did this because they need to get him on the show before Evolution because they just need a spot. Becky, I'm the best. I'm this and that and the other. Then Bailey saying I deserve the match. She attacked me. I just want revenge. And Larry saying, well, I deserve it because that was my title. And it's just a three-way, a lot of it's the best built story. I'm not going to say I don't want to talk about it because it's not, but it is though. It's you can only talk about what's already so great so much. You can only talk about it so much. So yeah, we got past that. So then we got Big Bronson Reed versus main event Jey Uso. It was really funny. Jey Uso had on these basketball shorts and knee pads. A lot of people think that he forgot his gear or was genuinely just too hot. It has to be one of the two. Or maybe it has to be one of the two. Because he had on just something I got on right now. It was kind of funny. But it was a cool little quick match. It ended in a DQ. Braun Breaker threw this chair at Jey Uso's face. It was really funny. It's really funny. It was very funny. It was like the office chair too, but it didn't end in nothing crazy. It was something regular. It's the Raw wasn't bad, but it wasn't nothing crazy. It was nothing crazy. But we do have something pretty good right here. Something insanely good. We got El Grande Americano versus who I said was sideline Dragon Lee. So okay. So El Grande Americano, right? I love the El Grande story they're telling right now. I like it. All right. Personally, what I would love with the El Grande story is something to keep feeding into this comedy bit that El Grande doesn't look like that El Grande doesn't look like this El Grande, and that they should keep feeding into it, and we should give just different superstars wearing El Grande Americano attire. We can get an Omos can come back and be El Grande. We can get a Ivy Nile be El Grande. We can get all of American made to dress as El Grande. We can get man, it'd be funny. It'd be funny if we can get just more comedy, not comedy characters, because some of those people aren't comedy characters. But like, imagine Carmelo Hayes El Grande Americano, then you get some NXT people El Grande Americano, and it's like a Spider Verse kind of thing. I think it would be kind of funny. I heard someone else say it, and I always thought that was really funny to me. And eventually we get this big like battle royale type of thing where it's El Grande Americanos battle royale, and the final two would be like the Chad Gable El Grande, then the Ludwig Kaiser El Grande version, and I think it'd just be really funny. I just really want to see Omos return in an El Grande Americano thing, like face mask and stuff like that, and. I think the fans will love it. I think the fans will love it. I feel like it's a pretty good idea. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm very wrong. But next we got, let me grab something. But next we got Goonberg and Gunter facing off. We got their little promo, or not even a promo. It was a stare down, really. And Gooner Gunter? Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me stop. Goldberg. He comes in face down with Gunther. Nothing to write home about. He spears him, gives people actual hope that he could win on Saturday night's main event. And at the time, I was thinking, whoa, I don't know, I don't know. It's looking like it. It's looking like it. I didn't think so. I always tell people, don't think like don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. WWE's put some crazy stuff right now. He's put some insanely weird stuff. We didn't think Goldberg was gonna beat Brock Lesnar back then. We didn't think it was gonna be Brock. And what 2 minutes? In 2 minutes, we didn't think he's gonna beat the Fiend in 30 seconds or whatever. So don't be surprised. All right, if there's betting odds, don't bet on that match. Just do not. Or at least at the time, that's what I thought because I already watched this. Obviously, I already watched it. Yeah, I already watched. But cool though. Cool little face down. And then at the end of Raw, again, pretty lackluster. We had the Seth Rollins chase off because from LA Knight. LA Knight kind of does like a drive by thing. He hits Seth and he's over the barricade and he's gone. LA Knight's gone. I kind of like when WWE does the face is actually smart and they don't take on a 1v freaking 25 because why would I? That doesn't even make sense. I kind of like when they do that with the baby faces. It shows real character now. Okay, they are still people, guys. They don't just do dumb shit to do dumb shit. I mean, come on. But yeah, though, cool. Raw was pretty. Raw was pretty whatever. It was. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate Raw, but I didn't particularly enjoy it 110,000%. Like a lot of people are saying it blew out of the water. I don't see how. All the shows besides the PLEs this week are pretty weak in my opinion. They were pretty weak. Next we got Paul Heyman in the LA Knight promo over on SmackDown. So LA Knight's out there. Paul Heyman interrupts. He's like, you know what? He's talking about his chant. He said the yeah LA Knight, and he tells the crowd, he's like, I hate when you guys do that. But basically, he's just hyping up Seth freaking Rollins. Somehow he's gonna lose on Saturday night's main event, and talking about calling out other people. And it's a cool night, cool little night. Nothing bad, nothing bad. But then we go from there to the My Family Tree. The family. I don't know if he's calling it My Family Tree or the Family Tree. It should be the Family Tree. I don't know why it's like Michael Cole shouldn't be saying My Family Tree. What? He should just be saying the Family Tree. But they're going in to attack LA Knight, and then Jimmy Uso shows up to what do you call it? Jim Uso shows up to back up Knight. He takes out Tama. He super kicks Tama, I believe, with a slides in a chair. They fight off the family tree, and it's a pretty cool opening. Not bad opening segment. Something whatever. SmackDown was just so up and down, and so was Raw this week. It's gonna sound like I'm not enjoying talking about it, but it was just so up and down. You can only talk about so much. I'm really trying to reiterate on things that happen, but I'm gonna try to. SmackDown, I feel like I have way more to yap about when it comes in compared to Raw. So they're not good things. They are not good things. But yeah, so yeah, we have the women's four-way match. I really like what they're doing with the women's. I really like what they're doing with the women's tag team division. All right, I know that people say the women's tag team titles are in the gutter right now, but I feel like they're doing an extremely good job putting them back on the map in a way. This story with Liv Morgan being out somehow, some way, is making the women's tag titles more mainstream than recent years and in recent times. They they're forming new tag teams with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. They're actually putting other tag teams that sort of exist like Soul Ruka and Zarya from NXT on the map. They're they're just really highlighting and really putting on and having great matches on top of that, having great matches with the other women's tag teams around the WWE. And I love the women's tag team championships go up and down. They don't stay Raw, they don't stay SmackDown, they stay NXT. I think they used to have NXT women's tag teams championships. Stupid. I don't know why they're stupid idea, but they used to have those. They don't have them anymore, obviously. And there's only one women's tag team. The whole tag, two of them maybe. I guess technically two of them. Yeah, yeah. The Fatal Influence and then Zaruka. There ain't nothing. Trash. But great match though. Great match. Alexa Bliss comes up on top. I love this Alexa Bliss Charlotte duo. I love it. It's like a big sister, little sister, frenemies type of thing. It's super dope. I when they eventually break it off and fight, it's gonna suck, but it's like I'm happy for the ride we got with these two. I'm a big I think Charlotte is the greatest women's wrestler to ever grace Earth, in my opinion. And then I love me some Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is one of my top people, top woman in the WWE right now, in my personal opinion. And she's great at her job. Great. So now, okay. Okay, so here's where I go on a little bit of a yap, all right? Here's where I go on a little bit of a yap. So the White Six versus the Street Profits. Long story short, the White Six are your new WWE SmackDown, or are they the tag team champions? Not world, but just WWE tag team champions now. Okay, so I don't particularly love it. I don't particularly love this Y6 as your SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I'm still big on that someone as a character. Wow, I cannot talk. Okay. I don't particularly love the Y6 as the next WWE SmackDown Tag Champions because I'm still in the camp that people who have their type of character shouldn't be anchored down by championships. I think it was the same mistake they made with the Fiend. I think it's the same mistake they made with almost Bray Wyatt as a whole. I don't feel as if like quote unquote entities like that should be tied down with championships. And on top of that, the White Six is your worst in ring tag team in on the SmackDown roster. The best tag team roster in the world. They're the best tag team roster in the world. I don't see it's not that I'm big on like, oh, you don't I'm big on like, just because you're not the best in ring doesn't mean you're not good at your job, because I think you are. I hate when people say, oh, Jay Uso is the worst WWE champion of all time because he can't do swantons and 650s and crazy shit, and he's not Chad Gable in the ring. He doesn't need to be. He had great character work. The Y6, cool characters, super cool characters. But let's be honest, they've taken a backseat, especially when you have this best tag team division in the world, when you have the SmackDown tag team roster. And I feel like they gave it to them because they know they can almost be carried by the reputation of the SmackDown tag team roster. It's just, to me as a viewer, it's going to be extremely hard to make it believable that they are the champions of this great roster when they're the worst in-ring wrestlers in this whole tag team roster. Sorry, I said roster a lot. It makes it really hard for me. I don't get how. I just don't get how. I don't see where it doesn't make sense, The Y6 the Y6 managed within not long, within like a month maybe, like 3 shows, were able to put the whole tag team roster in Parabellum and take the tag team titles away. I don't know. I just never been a fan of like very few like spooky entities like this can go on and do things with championships, and I think it will honestly work out. I just don't think the Y6 are that type. Like the Undertaker, Kane, people like that. It's different too. I think it's just different. Bray Wyatt did it fine. I didn't like when the Fiend did it. I didn't like it. I think a lot of people say it killed the Fiend, and I almost agree with it. No, I almost agree with it. I don't see why I just don't see it. I don't see why. It seems forced almost. It genuinely almost seems forced. And then on top of that, we have someone like a Nikki Cross who's just kind of around. It kind of sucks. They always have to do these feuds that involves a woman wrestler because they wanted to put Nikki Cross in the group, and it's like it sucks. Like, I like Nikki Cross. I don't issue with her at all. But it just kind of sucks because it's like she's just kind of there. She don't got much to do unless it's like DIY who has Candice LeRae. Like, because they don't do intergender wrestling on WWE like AEW does. They don't really do that like that. So yeah, they're new tag champs. I'm not a fan of it personally. Again, I just don't believe that the Y6 can be tag team champions when you have this stacked roster. It's hard to make it believable for me as the viewer, and I'm excited for what they can do. I guess I hope they don't hold it for long. Honestly, I feel like I think we're getting a shakeup soon too. I just we'll see though. We'll see. I hope so. Again, I think I said it last podcast. My vision for the Y6 has always been they are this spooky, almost vigilante type entity that comes and takes people out when they've wronged their quote unquote family in the past, like they did with Chad Gable when he disrespected American Alpha, just like they did with The Miz for his years of atrocity and Karrion Kross starting the fight. I just cannot picture the worst in ring tag team on the SmackDown roster being these champions above all these other great SmackDown teams. And on top of that, I just don't like them being tied down to a title, just like the big problem they had with The Fiend. Because I feel like that role where they were just vigilantes was perfect for them, in all due respect and in all honesty. I think they'll be great champions. You know, their presentation, everything is really cool. But I just. I just hope it's not like a year-long reign where they're making this unstoppable force just because they're scary. But that's that. That's my thoughts on that. That is what it is. So okay, so then the next thing. Okay. We might get under an hour today, dang. Okay, so the next thing. Ooh. We have the Jelly Roll Logan Paul stuff. And okay, the IWC is pissed. Okay, they are just not happy. And I do not blame them. Jesus. I'm just gonna straight up say I don't like the Jelly Roll stuff. I don't like the Jelly Roll stuff. You have in this feud involving Jelly Roll, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul. You have three people who are main event talents. I don't care. Like Logan Paul is a main event talent. I don't like Logan Paul, but he draws, so it is what it is. You have three main event caliber guys, and you're wasting them on SummerSlam, on a 2 night SummerSlam, your first ever SummerSlam, almost your second WrestleMania before WrestleMania, on a celebrity match, and I've always been I'm not in the boat of liking the whole TKO. Oh, the whole how do I put this? Okay, how do I put this? How do I put this clearly without stuttering? Okay, I don't enjoy how they're doing a feud, a build up to SummerSlam with three main event caliber superstars for a celebrity tag team match. And I just don't see how it makes sense. Rather than do this for one big feud, you can sit here and stretch these out to three different main event level feuds, or if not main event, super high mid card, high caliber feuds with three main event talents where they fight each other or they fight three different people on your biggest SummerSlam ever. You're gonna say it doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like a waste of time. You know, people, and you see people don't like it. That's another thing. You see people do not like the Jelly Roll stuff. So maybe I'm not tapped in. I'm not in the boardroom meetings, but I just don't see why you sit here and waste the late great career of Randy Orton, a returning Drew McIntyre, who I said last podcast should not be anywhere in the mid card scene, and then a super big draw like Logan Paul to for a Jelly Roll match. It doesn't make sense, you know. And on top of that, who cares about Jelly Roll? Who cares? Who cares, dude? Who cares? But it's you can tell Randy Orton was I feel like he doesn't like what's going on here. I have a gut feeling is he came out irate. Logan Paul, how dare you come after Jelly Roll? He's done this, he's done that, multi-time this. These people love him. We're in his neck of the woods and blah blah blah. He got the pop because I think they were in his hometown or something, in Jelly Roll's hometown. Randy Orton was just really over the top in how he was glazing Jelly Roll. And I know Randy Orton does not listen to Jelly Roll. I know he does not. You can't convince me he does. Nah, you just can't convince me he does. But I'm just not a fan, you know. I'm trying to get better with the whole brands and on all the on the ropes and the gear and everything, but this whole Jelly Roll thing just seems like a waste of a spot on a SummerSlam card where you can either have one really good match between the three wrestlers already involved who are all proven talents, or you can sit here and have three different feuds involving those wrestlers with other proven talents. It just seems kind of messed up, and I'd feel disrespected if I was a wrestler in the back. That if I'm Carmelo Hayes, how does Jelly Roll have a SummerSlam match before I do? It's just kind of crazy to me. Am I if I'm like a Chelsea Green, who is a woman, but still, how does Jelly Roll have a guaranteed SummerSlam spot? But I'm in the mid card. I'm not doing much right now. You know, I don't got nothing going on. It just kind of sucks, and I feel like they know people don't like it, but yet for some reason they just don't care about the wide wrestling opinion. It just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, it is how it is. It is how it is, I guess. So whatever. Next we have Aleister Black versus R-Truth, and Truth won clean. It was a whatever match, you know. Aleister Black versus R-Truth is a weird fit as a match. I didn't expect this to be a banger, 5-star freaking banger, but it was a cool match. Not bad. Truth won clean though. Truth won clean. I guess I don't see why. I don't really see why. You know, you bring Alistair back and he's rumored to get a singles push, but now you he's over here losing to R-Truth, but he's full. This seems like the program is him and Damian Priest going to SummerSlam, and I hope this starts with him beating Damian, a former world champion, and then we're going from there. All right, because an R-Truth loss is crazy. An R-Truth loss, and then the match itself just felt awkward to me. Maybe it was just me, but it felt awkward. It didn't feel no, it didn't. The whole vibe was off. The pacing felt off. Everything was just kind of weird. The whole match, something was off in the match. But uh, Aleister Black though, phenomenal in ring talent. Not the best on like the sticks. Not the best on the mic. Not that it's like the end of the world. But I'm just a big mic guy. And Aleister Black is really just. It's like it's not that he lacks charisma or character, but he could use some more. It wouldn't hurt. He's no one's perfect, but not everyone can be MJF or nothing. But you know, I just feel like he could do better. I just feel like he could really step it up, and it would add a lot to his repertoire. Word reacts. Tiffany and Trish segment, that's a special. Tiffany, I love you, but I'm gonna beat you. Trish, I love you, but I'm gonna beat you. Blah 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 blah. I don't see how Tiffany Stratton is a heel. And let's see, I can't. Tiffany Stratton is such an unbelievable heel to me. I don't get it. I just can't see her when she has this cocky attitude. Whenever she talks, in my opinion, her catchphrase itself, "Tiffy time," like the whole WWE runs on Tiffy time. Seems more heelish than faces. More, wow, wow, Jesus, that was bad. Okay, let me restart that one. Okay, Tiffany Stratton to me is not believable as a heel. She's just not. Her catchphrase, even right there, to me is more a heelish catchphrase than a face catchphrase. The whole WWE runs on Tiffy time. And I just can't wait till they turn her back to being a full fledged heel. I guess she's one of the faces of the woman division, even though her title run has been whatever. It's been okay at best. She she she's just not doing it for me, I guess. I don't She's not doing it for me. I'm biased though. I don't think Tiffany Stratton is a phenomenal in-ring performer. I just don't think she's that believable as a heel. I feel like there are other heel woman wrestlers who are so believable. Like Charlotte's not a heel right now, but she's far more believable as a heel than me. Naomi, obviously. You can even have some face wrestlers switch to heel and like a Bianca Belair and they'd be more believable. But to me, Tiffany Stratton is a natural born heel wrestler. And I really, really hope that they go back to that. I just don't see where in the world a person would say she's such a better face than she is a heel. But everyone has to play both parts at one point, so it's not a big deal, I guess. They go back and forth though. Naomi comes out. Oh hey, by the way, I'm the champion. Same thing Jade did that I complained about last week, but this is so Jade could attack her, and it was cool. Cool little thing. Cool little little spiel. Um, 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 um. Tag match. Okay, so we got the Solo Sikoa, and we have the tag match. It is Fatu and is it Fatu? No, LA Knight and Jimmy versus what do you call it? Solo and is it not JC, but I think it's Tama or Tala, one of the family tree members. I forget which one honestly. And what do you call it versus My Family Tree, and cool little match. Everyone's got their spots. LA Knight did his thing, seemed like the big hero here. One thing I did not like though, personally, I do not enjoy Solo Sokoa getting pinned here. It almost seems as if they gave Solo Sokoa this title just so Jacob can get also like okay. It seems like they gave Solo Sokoa the title from Jacob so Jacob can almost have that underdog feeling when they go fight at SummerSlam because that is going to be the match. Let's be serious. But Jacob doesn't need that. It doesn't make sense to me why you have a Solo Sokoa, a capable Solo Sokoa who's proven that he's a genuinely good character. He's not MJF in the ring or nothing. He's no one crazy, but he's great in the ring, great mic worker, one of the more charismatic people on your roster, and you just have him get pinned week by week by week. I get that it's Jay versus Solo at Saturday night's main event, but even that match alone almost doesn't make sense because Jimmy. I'm sorry, Jimmy never pinned Solo. Jimmy never pinned Solo. It doesn't make any sense. Big Jim never pinned Solo Sokoa to get that match. It doesn't make sense to me. Why give Solo Sokoa the title so you could sit here and have him repeatedly lose twice in a week and get pinned? It'd be different if he didn't get pinned. He was just on a losing tag team, and it just does. I don't get it. It seems like a waste. Jacob Fatu. doesn't need that underdog factor. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need the underdog. Jacob Fatu is a. It almost ties back to what I said about Triple H. That his baby faces need some kind of handicap almost. He almost needs some kind of handicap. And Jake, they said, I think they need. I think Triple H thinks a lot of baby faces need to be like the underdog in the story when they don't. It's cool for a baby face to be the potential or the what's the word, the favorite to win. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. But overall, not a bad match. Not a bad match at all. But yeah, though, it's like yeah, I do feel like they just gave Solo Sikoa the U.S. title just so they can make Jacob Fatu seem more like a underdog in the story, even though he doesn't give off any kind of underdog vibes. I just think it's so weird how first we're having a match between Jimmy and Solo when Jimmy didn't even pin Solo the first time he got pinned against him and Jacob, and then he pins him this week again. Having your U.S. champion get pinned back to back weeks, you're almost just spelling it out for me that he's going to lose at SummerSlam unless something crazy happens. Something crazy would have to happen, but it's just bad. It's just so disrespectful to Solo Sikoa, and it doesn't make me believe. It doesn't make him a credible champion. It's making him less credible as a wrestler, in my opinion. It doesn't make any sense. But to each their own, I guess. Then obviously Bronson Reed. I love when Bronson. I'm not Bronson Reed. When Braun Breaker pops up, I love when he pops up and you hear the dogs barking. He's over there. He's back there tweaking. He's back there tweaking, doing his whole thing, and he spears LA Knight out of his boots. Great, cool little ending. Cool little ending. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Now, what do you call it? Okay, so with Saturday night's main event, right? So before I get into Saturday night's main event, I want to talk about WWE and their counter booking. Now, WWE has made it insanely obvious that they are counter booking AEW heavy on certain AEW PLEs or pay per views or whatever, so they can control that weekend of wrestling. I think this week they did such a piss poor job at trying to counter AEW All Out. You put on a Saturday night main event that was riddled with ads. It was more ads than match, and I get that's what Saturday night's main event is, but I would have rather WWE just say let them have it because it's almost as if there's more eyes on AEW due to the counter programming rather than them just people just saying, oh, it's all good, it's all good, so it's all good. We're not thinking about AEW at all, but clearly they're drawing more eyes to AEW with this week straight of wrestling they're doing, and it's their job to put on matches and shows and things like that. But the counter programming, or the WWE counter programming is almost killing, not killing, but it's making WWE so much worse. They are building shorter storylines because of the counter program. They have to do with these big PLE events. They need to have storylines with one wrestler needs to have a storyline with five different other people because there's a PLE. By the way, there's a PLE in a week that you all forgot about. So be ready to fight. It's bad. It doesn't make any sense to me. WWE should not sit here and say, "Oh, we don't care about AEW," and then 180 and counter program every single thing AEW is doing because it's drawing more eyes to AEW. In my opinion, so many people talked about AEW All In more than ever, in my opinion, and that's because the week of wrestling they had due to WWE's hard counter programming that was nowhere near successful. It seemed like a waste of time and energy. And if they're going to do it in the future, they have to hit home. They have to swing and hit home. This was just such a piss poor job at counter programming your rivals. And then you act like you don't care about your rivals. It's weird. You can acknowledge the other company. It's okay. It's not a big deal. But that's my spiel. Sorry about that. But Saturday night's main event wasn't that great. A lot of ass riddled with it. Uh, Randy Orton beat Drew. Cool little match. They attacked Jelly Roll after him and Logan Paul. Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, buddy, buddy, boy, besto, friendos, and all that good shit. What do you call it? Other than that, the best part of Saturday night's main event was Jade and Naomi's brawl. Everything else is kind of whack, honestly. Jimmy Solo, not whack, but They nice that Bianca Belair is gonna be the special guest referee for the what do you call it? WWE Women's Evolution match. Again, sad that's to say it's the best part of Saturday night's main event. Um, Gunther and Gunther was a surprisingly well match. Gunther and Gunther served its purpose. It's, what do you call it? It didn't. They didn't have a 5 star classic. When is what's his name, Goldberg ever? I said the same Gunnar and Gunther. Sorry. When has Goldberg ever had a 5 star classic? But they served its purpose. You know, nice 14 minutes and 22 seconds, I believed. They served the purpose of the match. They put on a cool spectacle. I was surprised Goldberg actually took bumps. Personally, I was very surprised. He didn't. He didn't do too much. He got him up for the jackhammer. He hit him with a spear. It was a fine match. It was a fine match. I'm happy they didn't do nothing crazy. The only issue I have with this match is, okay, the main issue I have with this match is after Michael Cole hands him the microphone. This is about no one else. It is your retirement. It is your last match in your hometown. This is about you right now. He goes on. I thought I'm never lost in Atlanta, so I'm sorry for that. I want to thank my son, my loved ones for being here. Cuts off. I think it is super messed up. It's not a WWE problem. I think NBC forgot to run some ads. I don't know how you forget to run ads at Saturday night's main event, which is an ad show with a little bit of wrestling. But it is messed up though. That what do you call it? That WWE, and it is WWE's fault also, because on the other countries version, like Canada and things like that, you still couldn't see the Gunther stuff. It was also cut short. So it's weird. That's such a messed up thing to do. And then they went out and apologized for it. That's on you guys too. You guys had it on. You guys still cut off early. That's weird. I'm not a big Goldberg guy, but I think he deserves more than 30 seconds in a retirement speech in his hometown. You know, it's messed up on both parts. It's not just NBC, it's also WWE, because on other countries, like on other countries programming, because they get things like no commercials and things of that nature, they still cut out early. It was super weird. You know, people are trying to blame the NBC. It's both. How do you forget to run an ad on a wrestling show or on an ad show with a little bit of wrestling? It makes no sense. But that's my thoughts on that. Super messed up. And I'm not even a big Goldberg guy. I'm not a big Goldberg guy at all. But it's whatever. Then that is Raw, SmackDown, and Saturday night's main event. Honestly, oh yeah, Jacob Fatu returned. Nothing special there. We all knew that would happen. Let's be serious. Let's see. Mm, Let me see. AEW All In, best PLE of the year, easily best PLE of the year. Cannot convince me otherwise. 4 and 5 star matches all across the board. The worst match there was a 4 star match, bro. Come on. Timeless Tony Storm is the greatest, or not greatest, is the best women's wrestler walking the planet on right now. She is the best woman right now walking the planet in every aspect of wrestling. Okada, Kenny Omega, the Death Rider story, Texas Death Match. Like, AEW puts on constant better PLEs than WWE, and it's not even funny. They People complain about AEW because the okay, how do I put this? How do I put this? The AEW WWE quote unquote rivalry is closer than a lot of people think, in my opinion. How WWE is going on with their business with TKO and constantly riddling their everything with ads and putting all these celebrity matches and things that people generally don't want, and making all these bad decisions. And on top of all that, putting on piss poor PLEs. I think AEW is really, really taking advantage with that. They're getting better when it comes to booking shows. They're getting better when it comes to their storylines. Their PLEs below WWE's PLEs out the water, every single one. It's not a debate. You just look at All In and WrestleMania this year if you want to compare their last two super big events. Stop, like, it's embarrassing. It's getting embarrassing more and more. And I don't think AEW is gonna be the 1A in wrestling. It's not gonna be WWE. It's impossible. WWE's just been around. They've been around too long. But AEW could, for a little while, they're entering almost a golden era, I think, especially how connected everyone is in the locker room right now. Like MJF went on a podcast and talked about how in sync everybody is. I just think AEW is in that area where WWE needs to honestly watch their back, because they're messing up. And sitting here spamming the John Cena retirement stuff, it's gonna run poor. People already hate some of it. It's gonna run out though. He's gone in December, and you're gonna need to figure something out after that. You got to figure something out. a lot of people don't like I'm gonna post this video and a lot of people aren't gonna like I have to say, but AEW is getting better. It is catching up on WWE. AEW repeatedly dog walks in WWE when it comes to PLEs or pay-per-views, whatever they call it. People aren't gonna want to admit it at all, but AEW PLEs are better than WWE PLEs. And then AEW storylines are getting better. The writing is getting better. People are recognizing more characters, more moments are happening. I don't see why people have to be so weird when it comes to the AEW WWE thing. You can just like both. It's not that big a deal. You know, for someone to go and say, "Oh, I would never watch All In, but man, I cannot wait to watch Saturday night's main event." I'm like, no, it's crazy for you to sit here and watch the Jade and Bianca segment or Jade and Naomi segment over AW All In Okada versus Kenny Omega. It's just a weird hate, and you don't like wrestling. You just don't like wrestling. You like WWE, yeah, which is cool, but you don't like wrestling. All right, I've always been in the camp that WWE is where you want more storylines and things of that nature. But just like Michael Cole said, and AEW is where you want to watch the best wrestling from the in-ring aspect, which is okay. It's cool. Not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's any big news going on. I don't think so. There's still news that the Iconics are supposed to are supposed to resign. I don't know what they're known as now, but they're in TNA is another name. But it's still like news that the Iconics are supposed to come up sooner than later. Sorry, something on the screen. So cool. My bad. Just screen right there. We're gonna fix that live on the podcast. All right. But what do you call it? Yeah. Other big news really. Sad to say, the Adam Cole injury. Adam Cole is one of he's a Adam Cole's one of my goats. I love me some Adam Cole, baby. One of the hardest gimmicks out there. I love the booms. I love all of his moves are great. Adam Cole is gonna he retires. It's gonna suck, man. It's gonna suck bad. I know he couldn't compete at AEW All In due to his not cleared injury on his back. I believe. I believe it's his back, not his neck. I believe it's his back. But yeah. I hope he doesn't retire. We have to return to Bryan Danielson. Love it. Freaking love it. Like, man, AEW's roster is so stacked, and I'm happy they're finally taking advantage of how stacked it is. It's gonna be so great. Like these next couple months of AEW are gonna be so great. MJF's back in the main title picture. We got Bryan Danielson back. We got Darby Allin back. We got the Gun Club. We got Bullet Club Gold back. Love me. And now we just need King Switchblade. It's AEW's on the come up. I'm telling people, watch out for it. Watch out for it. I love me some AEW personally. I like both shows though. Let me see. Any other big wrestling news? I'm gonna swipe 3 times. Other than that, oh yeah, well, it happened today. So congratulations to Naomi, new WWE Women's World Champion, cashed down Io Sky and Rhea Ripley match. Great, love it, fucking love it. Happy they're separating her from Jade. I thought it was just gonna be Jade was gonna win and then she's gonna cash in on Jade, but hey, I wonder what the plan is from here, honestly. And oh, duh. Obviously, freaking Seth Rollins getting hurt at Saturday night's main event. Can't believe I missed that. It's literally on my list. I don't know why I didn't say anything. I am really interested to see where they go on from this Seth Rollins injury. It's insanely sad. Seth Rollins is one of my goats, in my opinion. I wonder if they're going to do like a briefcase goes up into the ether, which would be weird to me, or if he wants to give it to Braun. I think they're going to do superstars are going to compete for it. And what will happen is CM Punk wins it, and Seth Rollins is going to be pissed. He is going to be so pissed. And then CM Punk is going to go in and cash in and become champion on John Cena, whenever that is. And Seth Rollins will be irate, and that will be the peak of that feud. I think that will finally be the peak of that feud, because I don't think they should just let it go into the ether, or Seth can have a championship match whenever he's healthy again. I feel like that's unfair. That's not how the Money in the Bank works. So, what do you call it? I don't know. I hope there's a good plan for it. Prayers for Seth Rollins, man. I hope for a speedy recovery and that it's not that big a deal. I hope it's not. man. Other than that, NXT, love me some Soul Ruka. I already said it. Man, this is a pretty good podcast today. It's a pretty quick one. Pretty quick one. Um, 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 I think that's everything. Monday Night Raw, there's supposed to be a gauntlet match to decide who's going to fight for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam between Braun Breaker, Penta, LA Knight, main event Jey Uso, and CM Punk. I got LA Knight winning this, honestly. I feel like LA Knight's gonna win this. I want it to be CM Punk. They could do Punk Gunther though. People have been wanting Punk Gunther for a while. So it's gonna be Punk or Knight. I got WWE is money hungry, and this is their biggest SummerSlam. So I got Punk now. I got Punk. They're going Punk Gunther. They have to. This is the easiest way to just go do it, in my opinion. I don't see why not. Like, ugh. Uh, Oh man, Braun Breaker's not winning that. It's too early. It won't happen. People, I don't know what the plan is with Jey Uso now because he's not winning this gauntlet match on Monday. So he's gonna be a tag team wrestler again. He's probably gonna help fight the family tree. I'm not excited for it, but it is what it is. I guess it's just like it's whatever. I guess it's cool. It's cool. I didn't care anyway. It's fine. Anything else? Issues. Let me see that down. Covered the counter programming, covered Money in the Bank, women's, Judgment Day retained that evolution. Battle Royale, Ivy now didn't win. Boo, trash, but it's whatever. Um, I think we are good. I'm gonna make an Instagram tonight. Follow me on Instagram. It's gonna be No Sell Club. There's No Sell Club, one of the two. I'm really trying to get more subscribers here, and I feel like I gotta really broaden my horizons when I do this. My co-host that was supposed to be joining me for some of these probably isn't anymore. He's just busy with life, so I'll probably just run dolo. I hope I get big enough to collab with other like wrestling channels and things like that. I probably won't, but we'll see. I really hope I can though. I really hope I can. I just want to get decently big enough so I can. I just like collaborating. I love talking wrestling. I love talking shop. It's one of my favorite things to talk about, honestly. And yeah, everyone have a nice night. Everyone have a good one. It's 2:25 a.m. Not gonna lie, and get out of here. Fuck off. Go sleep.